The Connesta Cloud control room has two parts. One is the setup area, where the program manager defines all the parameters of the program. The second part is the director application, which manages, in real time, what the viewer sees. Let's start by taking a look at the director application. The director application enables the director to control the cloud-based control room. It enables him to see all the sources that are defined in the setup stage, and to decide in real time what source or combination of sources will be transmitted to the viewers. The director application is actually divided into 4 sections. The first section is the program on the upper right side of the interface. Any source we place in this section will be broadcast to the viewer's screen. The other section is the preview. The preview is where the director can prepare a source or a combination of sources to be moved later on into the program. We use this to avoid building the scenes in real time where the viewer sees you doing it. The lower part of the interface is the sources working tray display. Any type of source, whether coming from a camera, a VOD file, or a graphic, can be placed in the working tray below and controlled by the director. Control is done by clicking the Program button on each source and moving the source into the Program section. When we move this source into the Program section, the picture and the audio of the source are transmitted to the Brightcove player over the internet. We can place sources directly from the working tray into the program. However, if we want to build a more sophisticated combination, we need to use the preview. For example, if we want to build a 2-source layout, we have to build it right up here in the preview pane. We select the 2-source layout window below the preview section, and then we drag and drop each of the sources that we want into the preview section. When it's ready, we hit the Broadcast button on the top to move it into the program. Here, the audio will actually be a mixed combination of sound from the 2 sources. We can control the audio and the video of each of the sources using either mute, volume, or the solo setting, and we can move each source's video to the program or to the preview. The 4th section on the left side is the source bar. This is the section where we find additional sources that were defined in the setup. From here, the director can select multiple sources to move into the program or the preview. As an example, we can see VOD files that have been defined in the setup, or we see the titles that were defined in the setup as well. As an example, we can select one of the titles and move it from the source bar into the program. It's displayed right there, and we can remove it when we want to do that as well. So, the 4th section provides us with more than 8 sources that are displayed in the working tray below. After login, we get the Connesta control panel room setup display. On the right side, we have the setup of the accounts. One of the accounts options is Video Platforms, and Brightcove is already defined there. When we enter the publisher ID and the read token and write token, we enable the Connesta control room to connect directly to the Brightcove system, either for fetching files or for recording the files that we used during the real-time broadcast into the Brightcove servers. After we've finished defining the interface with Brightcove for each account, we can start building programs and the interface with the Brightcove sites for our program. If we take, for instance, the program that we've already defined, we see here that the program parameters are opened and displayed. One of the options is to add sources, or to see what the sources are. When we add sources, we have the option to name the source. Here we can say, for instance, New York Times, and the source type. Here, it's the VOD file, which indicates the type of file that we have to enter into the system. Over here at the left, we already have the Brightcove option, so we can fetch the file from the Brightcove site and send it directly into the Connesta control room. After we hit the Brightcove button, it takes us directly and automatically into the content section of the Brightcove site for this account. Here, we can select from the list of files that are here in order to download it into the Connesta control room. Selecting one of the files automatically starts a download to get it into Connesta. Once we've downloaded the file, it's in the Connesta Cloud control room. When the program starts, it's ready to be used by the director. Now, once we've defined all the sources of the program, we follow up by defining other parameters. For instance, we have to define where to broadcast the program. It could be a generic broadcast server where we put the URL, or it could be a Brightcove server with predefined parameters which we assign during the account setup. Same goes for the recording. When the program's finished, we can save the program into either the Connesta site or we can go into the Brightcove site and store it there. Once these are all set, we can now run the program.